Hi, today I'm going to show you some of the key differences between using a table in a Google Doc and using Google Sheets, because there are some differences that you may want to know about before you select one or the other. They are not entirely the same. So let's talk about what a table is. So I created a table here in a Google Doc. I created a table in a Google Doc, and it's just basic information. So generally in a table you're going to have specific types of information in different columns. So this was just a list of students, their date of birth. These aren't real students. What city they live in, zip code or postal code, and their favorite color. If I'm in a Google Doc, I could do some things in here. So like, for instance, when I point my mouse at the heading row, which is the top row of a table, notice I have this little pin button. So if I click that, I will pin it. And if I create more rows and it goes to another page, it will pin that header row to the top of the next page. So that's what that little pin button does. You could also sort the table by sending, it'll do it by the first name here. But if I do that by date of birth, it'll let me do that. So it'll keep the whole record together while it's doing that. Some things it cannot do is, well, I could edit this. So I could say, hey, I want this row to be like this little paint can color here, this color, and this one to be this color. I have to manually do that with these little paint can tools to change the cell color of those specific cells. There's no programmatic way to do alternating color or stuff like that. And what I also can't do is I can't filter any of this information out. So if I only want to see the people who like the color black, it'll still show up everything. I could sort by that, but I can't filter by it, and I cannot create graphs from this data. I can't do custom sorting. So if I want to sort by favorite color and then alphabetically after that, it won't do that kind of more advanced sorting and filtering for me. If I'm using a spreadsheet, so this is a Google spreadsheet here, I could do the same things I was doing before. I could add formatting. I could do all kinds of different stuff. If I want to pin the header, so if I wanted to repeat this first header row, on multiple pages, what I would have to do is I would have to freeze it. So I would have to go to view and freeze row 1, so that if I scroll, it'll keep that at the top. And then if I do have, let's say I'm going to add, repeat these over and over again. So I have multiple lines of data here, pages of data. If I print preview, you'll see how it repeated to the second row, the header row then. So it does it. It's just slightly different, a little more work to do that than it is in a Google Doc. One of the nice features in a Google Sheet is you could do formulas, which you can't do in a table, in a Google Doc. So if I wanted to do hey, how many people are red or stuff like that, I could do that. If I want to sort this, I would select everything and say, hey, come over here to my range and do advanced sorting. And I'm going to say, hey, sort first by favorite color, and then sort by last name, and it will do that for me. So all my blue ones are there, and it was sorted for that for me. If I wanted to do, now the cool thing you could do with this is alternating colors. So I'm going to get rid of this background color here with the pink can, and I'm going to select everything here and do format alternating color. And I could say, hey, every other line, let's do a blue theme. And boom, it automatically does the formatting. And if I if I sort this with different criteria, so I'm going to do this by date of birth, and then I'm going to sort by favorite color. Boom, it'll sort that way for me. And it will keep the same kind of alternating color scheme as well. What's nice about this is, let's say I deleted some information here. I could actually select these, and you could also do conditional formatting in a Google Sheets. So I could say, hey, if any of these rows are empty, make them yellow. And that way I know what information I'm still missing. So you can set up rules like this in a Google Sheet that you cannot do in a Google table. Um, so Google tables are great for small amounts of information that you don't have to do any heavy sorting, filtering, or formatting of the data. If you just want to organize your data, the small amount of data very easily, without a lot of bells and whistles, then a Google table in a Google Doc is a really good answer. But if you have more data, more than a handful of data that you want to do more advanced analyzing of, or if you want, if you wanted to make a sheet out of stuff, or if you wanted to have high end sorting or filtering capabilities, or even formatting capabilities like alternating colors, then you're better off using a Google Sheet because it will give you more options in the future. Another good thing about a Google Sheet versus a table is if you do have information like address information or other types of drop down fields, you can use this as the data for a mail merge, um, for like form letters, or that's how I do address labels, things like that. So you can't do a mail merge with a table. You can only do it with a spreadsheet. So again, the answer between when should you use a table, when should you use a spreadsheet? Tables, small amounts of information, simple sorting needs, simple formatting needs. Anything else, you're better off using a spreadsheet for that data so you have more control in how it is analyzed, sorted, filtered, and formatted. Hope this was helpful.